Imagine being able to walk into any room and instantly connect with anyone. Imagine influencing people, not through manipulation, but through genuine connection. Imagine having the skills to win trust, spark loyalty, and leave a lasting impact, both personally and professionally. That's the power of Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Since its publication in 1936, this book has changed millions of lives by teaching one simple truth. People skills are everything. No matter how smart, talented, or ambitious you are, your ability to build relationships determines your success. And Carnegie doesn't just preach theory. He gives practical, actionable strategies built on understanding human nature and treating people with genuine respect. Let's explore the core ideas of this powerful book. It begins with a foundational principle. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. In other words, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Carnegie opens with a hard truth. People don't like being told they're wrong. Criticism puts people on the defensive. It bruises their pride and causes resentment. He shares the story of Two-Gun Crowley, a notorious killer. When Crowley was captured, he didn't say he was sorry. He said, "Under my coat is a weary heart, but a kind one." Even a murderer didn't think of himself as bad. People will justify their actions, even the worst ones. So when you criticize someone, they rarely change. They just dig in deeper. Instead of attacking people, Carnegie suggests understanding them. Seek to correct behavior gently, or better yet, inspire change by example. Now, let's move to the heart of the book. Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. We've already covered this. The takeaway is simple. Criticism doesn't create change. It creates resistance. If you want someone to improve, don't attack them. Inspire them. 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Carnegie reminds us, one of the deepest human desires is the need to feel important. We crave appreciation. Yet most people only hear criticism. The key here is sincerity. Fake flattery is manipulation. But genuine praise, noticed and spoken with heart, creates connection. Praise effort, character, and progress, not just results. A simple thank you. A compliment on hard work. Acknowledging someone's contribution. These small gestures create loyalty and goodwill that last a lifetime. 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. You can't force people to do anything, but you can help them want to do it. This is the golden rule of influence. Talk about what they want, not what you want. Carnegie shares an example of a father trying to get his son to study algebra. Instead of saying, "You need this to pass," he says, "If you understand math, you'll be able to invent things like your favorite engineers." The son's interest spikes because now it's about his goal. Effective people don't push, they guide. They ask, "What matters to this person?" Then they show how what they're suggesting helps them, not just me. Part 2. 6 ways to make people like you. 1. Become genuinely interested in other people. Everyone wants to feel interesting, but most people talk about themselves. The secret to being charming is being curious. Ask questions. Listen with attention. Show real interest. Carnegie tells the story of meeting someone at a party. He asked the man questions all night, barely speaking about himself. The next day the man said, "Dale is the most fascinating conversationalist I've ever met." The irony? Dale barely said a word. He just listened, deeply. 2. Smile. A smile says, "I'm glad to see you." It's simple, powerful, and contagious. Carnegie explains how even dogs greet us with excitement. Why? Because they're happy to see us, and we love them for it. Humans aren't so different. A smile doesn't just brighten someone else's day, it changes your own brain chemistry. It signals warmth, safety, and trust. You become magnetic. 3. Remember that a person's name is, to that person, The sweetest sound in any language. Names matter. They're personal. When you remember someone's name, you're saying, you matter. Carnegie tells the story of a businessman who remembered the names of hundreds of employees and earned deep loyalty because of it. It's not just about memory. It's about caring enough to make the effort. 4. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. People want to be heard. Truly heard. Yet most conversations are two people waiting to talk. Great listeners ask questions, reflect back what they hear, and give others the gift of attention. Listening is not passive. It's an act of generosity, and it's one of the fastest ways to build trust. 5. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. Don't try to impress others. Impress them with how interested you are in them. If someone loves gardening, talk about plants. If they love cricket, ask about the match. Find common ground and speak their language. Carnegie says, the royal road to a person's heart is to talk about the things they treasure most. 6. Make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. This doesn't mean false flattery. It means finding what's admirable and naming it. Tell someone, you handled that really well, or your attention to detail is amazing. When sincere, this kind of praise creates lasting rapport, because we all want to feel seen, not for our image, but for our essence. Part 3. How to win people to your way of thinking. 1. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Even when you win an argument, you often lose the relationship. Carnegie urges us, avoid arguments. Instead, look for agreement, listen, empathize. Say, I may be wrong, let's look at this together. This disarms ego. It shifts the focus from I'm right to let's find the truth. 2. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, you're wrong. Telling someone they're wrong triggers defensiveness. They stop listening and start defending. Instead, say, I see it differently, or that's an interesting perspective. Open a dialogue, not a debate. Respect creates room for influence. 3. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. We gain trust by owning our mistakes, quickly, fully. Carnegie says people admire humility and courage. When you say, I was wrong, you disarm criticism and invite grace. 4. Begin in a friendly way. Don't confront with anger. Begin with warmth. A smile, a kind word, a compliment. People respond in kind. When you open friendly, the conversation shifts from tension to collaboration. 5. Get the other person saying yes, yes, immediately. This is the Socratic method. Start with points you both agree on. Yes builds momentum. Agreement leads to more agreement. You create a rhythm of connection. 6. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. When people talk, they feel heard. When they feel heard, they open up. Ask questions. Be curious. Don't interrupt. Let people share their views fully, and you'll often find the answers were there all along. 7. Let the other person feel that the idea is theirs. People support what they help create. Instead of commanding, suggest. Ask, what do you think? Let people discover solutions with your gentle guidance. This builds ownership, and ownership leads to action. 8. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. This is the heart of empathy. You may disagree, but can you understand why they feel the way they do? Carnegie says, step into their shoes, even for a moment. It transforms conversations and relationships. 9. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Sympathy softens resistance. Say, I understand how that must feel, or that would frustrate me too. It doesn't mean you agree, it means you care enough to understand. 10th, appeal to the nobler motives. People want to feel honorable, kind, fair, generous. Frame your message around their higher self. I know you care about doing what's right, or I trust your judgment on this. Appealing to virtue inspires action more than appealing to ego. 11th, dramatize your ideas. Facts alone are dry. But stories, emotion, and vivid examples make your ideas unforgettable. If you're selling a product, don't just list features. Paint a picture of how it changes lives. Show, don't just tell. 12th, throw down a challenge. People are competitive by nature. We love a good challenge. Carnegie shares a story of a factory with low production. Instead of demanding results, a manager simply wrote the number 6 in chalk on the floor, representing one team's output. The next shift, the number was erased and replaced with 7. The silent challenge inspired productivity to skyrocket. Appeal to people's pride in performance, and they'll often exceed your expectations. Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. 1. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. If you must correct someone, start by noticing what they're doing right. This softens the blow and shows you see the whole picture. 2. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Instead of saying, "You did this wrong," say, "Maybe we could try a different approach." It's not about hiding the truth, it's about delivering it with care. 3. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Say, "I've made similar mistakes myself." This levels the playing field and makes your feedback more relatable. 4. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Instead of, "Do this," ask, "What if we tried this?" or "Could you help with this?" Questions invite collaboration. Orders breed resentment. 5. Let the other person save face. No one wants to feel humiliated. If you correct someone in front of others, you crush morale. Always give feedback in private and with dignity. 6. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Celebrate progress. Even small steps, it builds confidence and momentum. Carnegie says, "Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise." 7. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Tell someone you're so reliable, and they'll try to be. People often become who we believe them to be. Speak to their potential. 8. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, focus on how simple it will be to fix it. Say, "You're improving fast," or "This part is already great." Encouragement turns setbacks into stepping stones. 9. Make the other person happy about doing what you suggest. End with positivity. Show how your request helps them. Give them a reason to feel good about following through. When people leave a conversation feeling inspired, not scolded, they're far more likely to act. How to win friends and influence people is not about manipulation, it's about respect. It's about understanding people, not as obstacles, but as fellow human beings with dreams, fears, pride, and potential. Carnegie teaches us to treat others with the same dignity we crave for ourselves. Influence, then, is not about clever words. It's about character. It's about empathy. It's about showing up with presence, curiosity, and care. And the best part? These principles don't just help you in business or networking. They transform marriages, friendships, and even how you relate to yourself. So next time you meet someone, smile. Ask a sincere question. Listen deeply. Speak with kindness. Because influence isn't something you do to people. It's something you do with them.